Say it's Tanesha's tip. Coming all three speakers. Good honest reviews, book shows, and the movies all getting featured. They all getting featured. Say it's Tanesha's tip. Coming all three speakers. Good honest reviews, book shows, and the movies all getting featured. Yeah. It's your girl Tanesha, straight magic. The greatest book reviews, let's get at it. She not here to offend, she just honest.
Hi, and welcome to Tanisha's Tips. Today, we are going to review Boots. This is a show on Netflix. I think there's 8 episodes, and basically, it follows a guy that is joining the Marine Corps. Okay, so I'm going to give you the people's names as we go and actually give you a synopsis of the first episode. Before we start, let me just say, this brings back a lot of memories because not only did I go through Naval Boot Camp, but I also was stationed at Parris Island for the Marine Corps. So a lot of this stuff is kind of bringing back memories. It's kind of true. I can resonate with a lot of it. And before you like say, oh, this is so stupid or whatever, there's humor in it. There's truth. There's logic. I think that everybody should watch it. If you're familiar with the film Full Metal Jacket, that honestly does not do the Marine Corps justice, really. It's just kind of blah. But this is like a real life, like kind of true to where we are in the world now, or at least when I was going through boot camp and stationed at Parris Island, this was kind of the truth and how things happened. So anyway, without further ado, first episode is called The Pink Marine. It starts off with the main character, Cameron Cope. He's in the recruiting office and he's actually being asked by the recruiter, why do you want to become a Marine? And he's rambling or whatever and, trying to get his words together because he's very intimidated. But before he goes there, he says, okay, first of all, we need to retract on how we got here. And so this is very much of a third person, like he is outside of his body talking or whatever, and he's saying that the only person that really truly knows him is himself or whatever. And then oftentimes his true self comes out and is having a conversation with him. It kind of gives the whole insecure with Issa Rae talking to herself and doing the raps in the mirror. It gives that whole image or whatever. But it's really good. It's not the whole, in the mirror thing, but it's him outside his body talking to himself. So you get the full picture of what's going on and what he's thinking in his head. So with that being said, main character, Cameron Cope, as I said before, why do you want to become a Marine? He says his life needs to change and he wants to be somebody else. He also reveals within this whole flashback that he's tired of trying to be who everybody else wants him to be. He's been bullied his whole life or whatever, and it feels like he just does not fit in. He was born, I think, in 1990. He has an older brother, Benji, and his mom's name is Barbara. Okay, we found this out pretty early on. So then there's his best friend, Ray, who actually went off to the Air Force. He came back before time or whatever, and he said something about his eyesight. He really didn't give him the full picture of what exactly happened. Well, Ray still has it in his mind that he wants to go to the Marine Corps, and he's like, we should go in the buddy program. He's like, the buddy program, what is that? So he explains to him, it's when, two people come in together and they can't be separated once they, finish boot camp. Sounds good. So anyway, he's convincing Cameron, hey, we should do this together or whatever. And Cameron was like, I don't know, it might just be like the same thing that I'm going through now. He was like, no, trust me, it's like summer camp or whatever, right? Okay. So anyway, we fast forward to the bus ride to Parris Island. And honestly, I'm looking around in the bus or whatever. For me, I see like people sleeping. I see people looking around. I see people looking anxious, not knowing what to expect. All of those are like true to for real. Like that is so for real. But if I'm recollecting like how I felt. I was probably one of the anxious ones that couldn't go to sleep because, first of all, where am I going? Where are they taking me or whatever, right? My spidey senses are up and I want to know. However, looking at this picture now, I feel like the people who are actually catching some Z's are really the smart ones. That's all I got to say about that. Um, on this bus ride, he actually is tapped by the guy sitting next to him, and the guy sitting next to him, ask, "Hey, what's your story? Why are you here?" or whatever. And he was like, "Oh, I'm just trying to do something different or whatnot." And he was like, "Oh," and then he says, "Oh, so you're a military brat too?" And he said, "Oh no," he was like, "My mom, we moved around a lot because my mom ran away from her consequences," which was really funny to me because, oftentimes we think adults have all the answers or whatever, and they're really responsible. Not. That is so not the case. Anyway, there's no here or there, but that speaks a lot of how he feels about his mom, and then what we see later on in the episodes. So he says, "Oh, by the way, my name is John Bowman." He says, "Oh, I'm Cameron Cope." Okay, first friend we make on the bus ride. Immediately after that, the bus comes to a standstill, and then this guy hops on the bus, and he's a sergeant. He said, "Hi, I'm Sergeant da da da. Welcome to the Marine Corp Boot Camp." Right? That's what they want you to know. Think that they said, but then it quickly hops on to what he really says, and this is where the humor begins. Okay. So again, they are rushed off the bus. They are to stand on the yellow footprints, which is very indicative to Parris Island because that is very much the truth. Okay. From this point on, they suck all your common sense away from you. Everything you learned throughout your 18 years of life or whenever is sucked out of you. You no longer talk like I and we and whatever. It's always this recruit. Okay. Just know this, that is a true thing. They are actually are supposed to sound off when their name is called, and this and that and the third, and just a whole array of things, right? So I'm not going to give you everything that happens in this episode. However, all of this stuff that is going on is going to take place from now until the end of the episodes is a true statement. Like, it's true. Like, this happens. Okay. I do want to say this episode does give you some it's triggering because there is racial issues, very much stereotypical issues in here. It's a lot of things that come out in this whole series. However, please don't think that it's a cakewalk. One of the things that Cameron says to Ray in this episode is that, "Oh, I don't think I can make it. I should stop right now." And he says, "You said it was going to be like you said it was going to be like summer camp." And he says, Ray says to Cameron, "Relax, it's just the first day." He said, "The first day? That's all we've been here for?" Trust me, yes, it feels like a lifetime, okay? In one day, you do a lot. All of this is indicative to for real boot camp. I'm not trying to say this to discourage or dissuade someone from going into the military. I mean, obviously, the political climate right now is probably not the best thing to do. However, I am finding the humor in this series. And it is actually a book called The Pink Marine. I don't know if I'll ever read it, but I did enjoy uh, watching this series. And again, this is the first episode. A lot happens. It's well worth the watch. I'm not going to keep it going because I want you guys to watch it and come back and tell me if your experience, if you went to boot camp or if you experienced anything like this, or is it funny? Just anything that you could say about this whole series, or this episode, I should say, because we haven't finished the series. Just let me know. I would like to banter with you because I just thought, oh my goodness, this is going to be a good series to review because it brings back so many memories. Again, the name of this series is Boots. This is the first episode, The Pink Marine. Please like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend because, again, this is like vastly a thing. Everybody can chime in on it, whether you went or you didn't, or you thought about it and you're glad you didn't because what you saw. Just let me know. Anyway, this is the end of this episode. Please come back for more. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bringing rings that may leave you astonished. And plus she do shows. She cover all like hands, knees, and toes. Don't lollygag, no, she just roll. Then it's on to the next one, on to a fresh one. Said it's on to the next one, on to a fresh one. Tanesha's tip, coming all 3 speakers. Good honest reviews, book shows, and the movies all getting featured.